I don't know whether to do like some a cappella music here of like our normal intro. I don't think I can pull it off though.
An a cappella of Slayer Rain in Blood.
Yeah, I can do the Green Worm Tongue bit, or even the
I'll
Gandalf
I'll
bit.
try.
The courtesy of your
Does that work?
hall is somewhat lessened of late.
Don't do it, Doug. Don't do it.
No, don't do it. Right, welcome to another concerning hobby podcast show thing. Not quite our usual thing.
Cast.
Hobbycast. That's the one. That's the one. That's what I was looking for. So, myself, Doug, and I've got Max with me as usual, here to
Hello.
discuss Middle Earth again. We've got some news.
Mate, that sounds like such a chore.
Sure, having to discuss Middle Earth. Admittedly, I've been on the Horus Heresy train, so getting back to Middle Earth is a breath of fresh air as well.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm stoked to be back on it. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah, you've been doing quite a bit actually.
Yep. Finished. I mean, we need to leave this for our next little slide, but yeah, I'll chat about it then.
I'll just bring up the next slide. There's no waiting around.
Oh, it's one after this. You know,
Oh, okay, okay.
cocked right up. But to introduce the episode, Middle Earth is 100% back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, yeah, because the title of this episode was going to be Middle Earth is dead, and and then there's news.
Yeah, it was absolute clickbait, and we knew Middle Earth was not dead. But um, we've had news,
Yeah,
news
yeah,
from the mark. You could say Douglas.
yeah. We're not going to be like toxically negative. We're going to be toxically positive instead.
Yeah, I think really sort of over the top, toxically positive is the way to go. Sort of that sort of positivity that people just really fucking dislike,
Yep.
can't stand. They log on to the GBHL and see someone just being overtly happy about the hobby, and they have to just take them down a peg. That's
Yeah,
the sort of toxic happiness I want to bring.
exactly. That's the kind of hobby we all want to bring.
Yeah. So, moving on to the first slide,
Yeah,
though.
let's go for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're in the driving seat for this one, really. I mean, I'm steering, but you're the one with the on the pedals.
I am 100% in control. I know what I'm doing,
Yep.
and I am ready to go.
You didn't just put
So,
this
Doug,
slideshow together just before we started, did you?
I definitely didn't do this in the last 10 minutes before
No.
we went live. When we went live at 8 o'clock,
The funny thing, you messaged me like the other night. I was like, "Yeah, I'll get some slides together. I'll get some slides together." And it's like literally at 8 o'clock when I'm putting out stuff on Instagram,
Doug,
being like, "Join us from 8 p.m." And it's like, "Yeah, Max only just joined us from 8 p.m."
I fucking delivered, and there's no contest in that. This entire PowerPoint presentation is a work of art.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, it's good. You've pulled it off. You've
So,
really done well. It's killing me that we don't have little sound bites though for these like little quotes and stuff you put in.
I mean, that would have been so far beyond my skills as a technologist. It, I mean, it just doesn't bear thinking about. We're lucky I've even spelt words correctly, let alone. I mean, I used a question mark. I was quite impressed with myself for that. You realize I can't type on my keyboard. My keyboard's Swedish,
Really?
so all of the symbols are fucking backwards, and I've got like weird hieroglyphics on all the O's and A's.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. Have you
And
got like some of the interesting like symbols and stuff on them?
yeah, yeah, I've got the umlauts over the O's, which
Umlauts.
I'm informed turns it into a ooh. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sick of these who's. and
Oh,
over the
lap.
ears.
Always makes me hungry, that word. It just makes me think of omelettes. Could go for a
Yeah,
nice Spanish
I do
omelette
love
right
a
now.
good Spanish umlaut.
Umlaut. Good. Yeah. So we do have
But
some news.
all of the symbols are in the wrong places. It's crazy. I can't actually type with it.
Can you not? Oh, it's difficult. Why have you not got a new one?
We've got some comments already, Doug.
We
We've
have
got some
indeed.
comments.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr.
Welcome.
Sweeten has joined us.
Yep. Welcome, Dave.
Yeah, we did not start at 8 o'clock. That's very well pointed out. And he's put, he thinks this might have very well become. I've fucking butchered this. Jesus Christ, I can't read tonight. Quickly become the best MESBG podcast. Love the format of discussing sculpts. Never give up, lads. Well, lucky for Dave tonight, we're not going to discuss a single sculpt.
Yeah, sorry.
We're going to be discussing. We're going to be doing some rampant wish listing. We're going to be talking some complete nonsense, and just bringing some general hobby toxicity, overly positive vibes to your ear holes.
Yes. So apologies, Dave, if we now very quickly become the worst MESBG podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I could take it or leave it. So what news have we got from the mark? What has there been any news at all?
All right, well, there's been some nice stuff. Yeah. I mean, I see no better way of doing it than, shall we just bring up that recent walk-on post and we'll just go through that.
Air up the walk-on.
Here we go. So yeah, it's a little old now, 25th of Jan, but I think we're still riding the hype train on this. So Road Goes Ever On, a look to 2024 in MESBG.
I'm sure this was the title of our last concerning hobby.
I think it was.
Okay.
I think they stole it from us. Cheeky.
Goddamn rip-off merchants.
Yeah. And the first bit we've got is that there's this Quest to Mount Doom board game is finally coming to the UK, where it's previously in, just the US and Germany. I've got no clue what this game's about. Well, obviously I know what it's about. I'm going
to give it a solid 0 flying fucks out of 10.
Not even for the Plastic Fellowship, but in gold plastic.
I don't know, man. It could be good. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, sticking gold on those. I mean, that's we've ragged on those models a lot, haven't we? But that's like sprinkling a glitter on a shit, right?
It's like spraying a shit with Retributor armor.
Yeah.
Retributor gold.
Are they actually
shit.
supplied gold, or do you have to? Is that they've just done it themselves?
Yeah, they'll just bang that like gold, because they did a load of Sigma models in gold, didn't they?
Yes, yeah, I do remember some of the Stormcast stuff. So,
let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's get to the juice.
So the next up is finally another made to order. Focusing on the Kingdom of Rohan, number of classic models returning for a limited time. I know they say returning for a limited time. This set always comes up. It's every single made to order. We've got this Heroes of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, this came up like this was this time last year, right? These came up.
I think these have been like in 3 or 4 different made to orders over the last like 3 years or something.
Yeah, when I first saw this article and I saw like that Quest to Mount Doom, and then I panned down. I didn't bother reading anything because why would you? I saw the Heroes of Helm's Deep and I was just like, fuck it again. I went straight into negativity, complete ungratefulness. I was straight into it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to see it return. At this point, it should just be a part of their main line, right? They obviously made far too many on the last made to orders, and they just got a clear stock now.
They won't stop until every hobbyist on the planet has that Aragorn model.
Oh, geez, yeah. If you didn't pick it up in the battle streams, Battle Streams, Battle Games. Oh, I've done it again. Battle Streams in Middle Earth. If you didn't pick up on the Battle Games in Middle Earth
Don't give him free
issues,
publicity.
I know
We
I
can't
keep
be
doing
doing
this
that.
free publicity for Steve and Damien.
So yeah, what we got next, Doug? What we got next?
So next up, we've got. I won't scroll down too far. We've got a trio of mounted heroes. So we've got AMR. Is this the Pelennor AMR? What did they call it? It's AMR Knight of the Pelennor. This one. Cool model. I never actually.
This hasn't been
one.
out for a while, I don't think.
It's not been out for a while. No. Surprised to see it come back. To be honest, it's nice as like little collector's piece. I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
the
it's
best.
a nice model, and
I don't know if it's the best AMR. To be honest, you might have a differing opinion.
no, I don't mind it. I think it's really cool. It's a different pose, a different take on his armor. I think just a little bit different take on his armor. Nice, cool shield.
Yeah. The horse kind of skidding to a halt kind of feels a little, I don't know, weird to me. There's something about it. Something about that horse.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing like some sort of Tokyo drift.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm happy it's coming back. It fucks goldfish blue over, takes down that reseller cost. I'm happy about it. People can pick it up if they want it.
Yeah, and that's kind of that should be the point of some of these made-to-order things, is to be able to get hold of some of these more collectible items, really. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I was saying that to somebody about Middle Earth, how the difference with Middle Earth is, especially for the scalping market now and the reselling market, is you can have at least a decent amount of faith that you will see. Like I've seen Arno models going for quite a bit at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
Arno models will come back. You might have to wait a year, you might have to wait 2 years, but they will come back. And so it is a nice thing to know, or it's comforting anyway, to know that you don't have to, if you really want that model, you don't have to pay an obnoxious price online.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen already the Mahud have come back, and I think they were rotated out around the same time that Arnor was, roughly like 4 years ago or something. So I think, we'll see.
Yeah, and depending on what supplement could be coming, we'll see.
Speculation runs wild.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, we're spoiling Dave here. We've got some sculpt discussion going on.
What sculpt action?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Also, welcome, Jake.
Yep. Chunk, thanks for joining. Enjoy.
Got gambling on horse.
A good old gambling.
Yeah, without the banner, which is always nice.
I quite like this.
Yeah, I quite like it.
I don't think I'll pick it up. I quite like it.
Yeah, it's fun for like a if you're gonna play through some of the was it War in Rohan, and you're doing like the Warg Attack, because I don't think he has the banner in Warg Attack scenario, perhaps.
Yep. That's a nice bit of variation to Royal Guard list as well, if you want to just chop his head off and put a Royal Guard helmet on.
Oh, true. Yeah. Could make a nice captain or something as well.
Yeah. Next up.
Very nice. Oh, I love this one. Yeah. Theoden from the Warg Attack set. Lovely. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Once again, talking about like a Warg Attack list, this is your key point, really. It's your key model. Yeah, always nice to see this one.
Talking about nostalgia, that's a real nostalgia model, isn't it? That red box set with the free, I think it came with 3 metal wargs and then Aragorn and Theoden.
You got Sharku on Warg, 2 Warg Riders, Theoden, and Aragorn. I think that was it. I think that was those 5.
Yeah, that was a classic box set. Absolute classic.
Classic red box sets. We love them. Yeah, so he's returning.
Time for the big hitter, though, Doug.
Well, not returning, sorry.
Time for the big hitter.
Oh, Defenders of Rohan. Obviously, if
This
you've
is a
been,
big one.
this is a big. I mean, because this was one of the ones we kind of were wish listing, from like a previous episode we recorded.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And I think
It
we said we'd
was,
have
and
to
I
both of them we'd have to buy them immediately.
yeah, and I saw this go on eBay the other day for 85 quid,
Oh,
which I thought was really reasonable. I
yeah,
thought that was really
yeah,
reasonable.
yeah.
And
I think
let's say this
GW will
comes
still be
out at
less than that.
50,
Yeah,
45.
yeah.
Yeah, I think 45, 50 for
I think
this.
45 or
I
50 for
think
this
that's a
probably.
pretty good price, I'd
Yeah,
say. I
seven.
mean, who knows how much it's going to
Oh,
be.
oh no, yeah, who knows? 7 metal models. That gambling with the banner's been available in his own set for a while, so it's kind of 6 new old sculpts. But yeah,
Yeah, but given that on average they're going for about 15 to 20 quid per model on
yeah,
eBay at the moment, I think your quid's in, especially if you've been after, like I've been after that Aragon for a while.
yeah, me too.
I'll be well happy to get my hands on him.
Yeah, no, just lovely. Nice to see it return as part of a made to order. But yeah,
Yeah, just
definitely a
what
big
made to
hitter.
orders are for, really.
Probably the biggest hitter from this, I would say. Although there's going to be some hardcore Rohan fans out there that are looking at this particular set, because these models I don't think have ever
Some
been released
Rohan,
on their own.
some Rohan neckbeards, hot and
Yeah,
horny
because that
for
Captain of the
Rohan
Axe,
captains.
I think he was only released in like a Rohan box set back in the day. And I don't think this banner has
Oh, did
ever
he come
been
in
released.
the big army set?
Yeah, he was like an army set. When they did army sets for like £50, £60, I think he was the captain that you got in that. And then I don't think this banner has ever been released before.
No, I think this one was marked as unreleased. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where I heard it from. I thought I'd heard that this was like, obviously when they're making models and stuff, they have a variety of different options that they pick from that go for final release. And this was a banner that didn't quite make the cut because of how flimsy the banner was, or something like that. Like it joins obviously on at the sword tip. We can see it joining on at the end of the banner, and then there's just this kind of long pole. And I think there was something like it was too flimsy, and the other one that we got instead was considered the better sculpt by GW at the time. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't
Even
remember
if
where I've
that's
heard
the
that
case, it's still a nice sculpt. And I mean, as made to order unreleased models go, is a hell of a lot better than that Bretonian sculpt they're bringing out.
from. Oh boy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah, I remember.
Don't look like his face has been crushed in a vice.
No, not
I'll
at all.
take that.
Squashed between elevator doors or something. Yeah, yeah. But that's it. But also, we've got this little text down here. Delighted to say this year will also bring the release of the next supplement, which is very, very exciting because we've not had one since what early last year or year before. It was Defense of the North.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
It
For
has
a
been a
long,
while.
long time.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty good segue, Doug, into our next slide, which is no, yes,
Yes.
top 3 supplement wish list. It's time for absolute wild speculation, rampant wish listing, absolutely zero grounding in the real world. We're going completely off the fucking rails, and we're just gonna wish and hope and make some have some hot takes. Hot
Yeah.
takes.
Hot
Horny
takes.
for hot takes.
Oof. Yeah.
So join in, please, if you are watching, all 3 of you. Wow, an absolute horde of listeners tonight. But if you're rewatching, comment on what you'd like to see and what you think would be cool. And it doesn't have to be realistic. You don't have to give some sort of Games Workshop marketing presentation. It could just be something that you want to see, you personally, and yeah, fuck the haters. Just enjoy it and
Yeah.
think up something fun. I
What
know.
would you like to see?
I've
Yeah.
picked a couple of weird ones, I think, and that are pretty much just for me. And yeah, so we'll crack on. We've both picked three, and we'll have a chat about what our ideas would be for the supplement, what we'd be expecting from it, and yeah, you do the same if you want. Post it in the chat or post it in the comments afterwards, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we'd love to hear
let's
what you
go at
guys
it, bud.
think. We'll obviously discuss it as well. Sounds good. All right. Am I going to another
So,
slide?
yeah. So first up, Doug,
Ah,
is your number one pick.
yeah, my number one pick. And I think it's probably going to be number one pick for quite a few people. There's been people clamoring for this in GBHL and various other Facebook groups about Last Alliance. Obviously, I think maybe some of that comes from the fact that we had the Anarion name teased quite a lot in the Army's book, and still no sign of a model. So it's like, where is he? Must be coming soon. But yeah, Last Alliance, I think, seems like a logical one for me. This is me with my GW marketing hat on. That Last Alliance could be one, and it kind of ties into like some wish listing I've had for models and stuff as well.
So, what would you want to see with the supplement? Like, why would you want to see a Last Alliance supplement, and what do you think it'd
So
add to the hobby?
I think it can bring in a lot of different factions. Obviously, the ones you think of is elves, like Rivendell, Numenor, and Barad-dûr, because those are the ones that feature in the film. But actually, in the wider lore, there was a lot more that were brought into the conflict, and I think Tolkien wrote that the only race that was not featured on both sides. I mean, obviously orcs were the evil ones, but elves. There were no evil elves on Sauron's side, so it kind of implies that there's evil dwarves that you could bring in. Some of the more eastern dwarf factions that side with Sauron a bit, perhaps. So yeah, you can bring dwarves into it. You can bring wood elves. I think Thranduil's father dies during one of the battles, one of the early battles of the Last Alliance. So there's opportunity to bring some new characters into there as well. Obviously, Anarion. One thing I would really like to see is a completely new plastic kit for both Rivendell elves and Numenor as two separate kits. It does feel a little bit weird that they're the only set where they're two different factions, but you can't buy them separately. If you want to collect Numenor, you have to have all these elves. If you want to collect just Rivendell, you have to have bought these Numenor warriors as well. So it'd be nice to see them get separated into two plastic kits.
On the one hand, as someone who's just finished 30 Numenorians and painted up a nice little Numenorian army, if they release plastic Numenorians, I will go fucking mental.
Yeah.
I will be so pissed off. But I do think you're right. I think that would be a great shout. And when they brought out Elrond, the plastic Elrond kit, the banner bearer in that kit, kind of gave people a little bit of a taste of what a plastic High Elves kit could be. Yeah, that kind of changed a lot, didn't it? I mean, looking at that banner bearer model is absolutely stunning. Some people might even buy that Elrond kit just for the banner bearer. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I've seen so many conversions with that Elrond as well, like people turning him into like second age characters and such. But yeah, no, that banner
can you imagine
gorgeous.
a cheeky Oddworld, Elendil, Isildur, and Anarion triple pack?
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I think it'd be fucking insane. I think that would be. I mean, given the models that we've seen, like Hurin and Helm, Hammerhand, like the armor that they've created for him. I think
Mm.
after painting the metal, I really like the metal Elendil, but and the Isildur. But if they brought out a Forge World sculpted Elendil and Isildur, I think they would be hands down some of the most sought after models that they've released in a hell of a long time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, and if we got those, like, screw it. Let's just go for a full range refresh on Numenor. Like, do a Forge World Captain and a Banner Bearer as well as another set.
Oof. Nice cheeky Forge World Gilgalad.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, there's so many opportunities to expand the range there as well. I mean, personally, I'd love to see another Sauron as well. I think the current Sauron model, while it's nice, it's a bit dated, as is the Necromancer. So I'd love to see like maybe a plastic or a Forge World kit. Probably more likely to be plastic if we're going to have options. But options to be able to build both the Necromancer and the Dark Lord forms of Sauron.
I've got to say, as characters go, like if they brought out a Forge World resin Sauron, in like a nice dynamic pose that cost say £100. I think that's probably a Forge World number, obnoxiously priced and probably a bit ridiculous. But as a centerpiece model goes, and as the thing that you want to put in the middle of your army or want to spend a bit of time painting.
Well, think about it like one of the
there.
the Horus Heresy Primarch models. Think about it that way. Like, it comes with like a proper scenic base that's detachable from the rest of the model.
Yeah. To be fair, the most expensive Heresy Primarch is not including Space Dracula. Oh God, what's his name? Fulgrim.
Fulgrim.
With his wings. Wangs. Is Horus Ascended, which is, I think, just over 100. I think it might be 110. So, yeah, actually, when you think about it like that, a Sauron model would be probably a similar size and on a similar scenic base.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's just, I'd love to see that. But yeah, just like a nice little campaign and stuff, obviously, as they do with all of the supplement books. Because I think most.
Yeah, I think you could have some really cool scenarios in there.
Yeah. It's just like a nice little bit of hobby nostalgia as well. Like, I remember reading, I think probably one of the first articles they did through some Last Alliance scenario. I think that was actually in one of the most recent Best of White Dwarf magazines books.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see a Last Alliance.
You think we'd be looking at a big book or one of the small books? Because we've seen like that trend of you either get like a big, decent, chunky book like the Quest of the Ring Bearer, or you get a slightly smaller supplement like the Necromancer supplement.
I think with the amount that I would want to see in here, and with it being range refresh for Rivendell and Numenor, new characters for Numenor, new characters, like being able to bring wood elves into it. Maybe if you've got like evil dwarves in there as well, that maybe doesn't need new models. Maybe like a conversion kit or something would be fun. I don't know. I would want to see a large one, but I think we'd probably be leaning more towards a smaller one.
Yeah.
Because whilst it is a big campaign,
goes,
it's not really fleshed out in Tolkien's writings as much.
You've started off with a pretty good one there as wish listing goes, because that's what, like a full range refresh, multiple Forge World models. That's you're going hard.
Going hard on
going
the first
hard.
One. Yeah. I start as I mean to go on.
Yeah.
All right. Is the next one of yours?
It is. I've alternated, so the next one is mine.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind this.
So I think probably the best supplement to come out so far has been Quest of the Ring Bearer. That's the one that's got people real hard for SBG. People who were making spreadsheets of all the models they'd need to do all the scenarios, and I think it got people pretty excited, really.
I'm that spreadsheet guy. I spreadsheet all of the models I need. I've just done one recently for War in Rohan.
Well, a lot of people did that. I didn't because I'm super cool,
Because
but
I'll do it
I
for
just
you.
took the spreadsheet off somebody. No, well, I think actually Carl Daly did it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
send me that, will you please?
Hmm, hmm.
Um, but I think something similar with Foreign's company would be great, and I wouldn't base it around Bilbo. I would base it around Foreign, and I would make it about his quest to Erebor, and I would put in, I
Yeah.
think the coolest thing about some of the Middle Earth supplements, like the Gandalf game, where you use a deck of playing cards, really cool.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
things like that make stuff a lot of fun.
Imagine like a proper like in-depth card playing game around Riddles in the Dark.
Exactly, or even about the free trolls. It could be anything, but basically make a really fun book to play through
Yeah.
that's just based around the Hobbit. Maybe tie
Have a
it in
sing
with some
along
cheeky.
episode as well, where you got to sing the rules. Don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds fucking awful, but yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I've been listening to the audiobook of The Hobbit this week, and while I've had COVID and I've been sat there listening to the audiobook of it to get me to sleep so that I don't have fever dreams of fucking God knows what.
Oh jeez.
It, it always gets me how like Thorin just whips out a harp and it's like, yeah, just gonna read a gnarly harp solo during the dinner.
Amazing. Is that did Andy Serkis do one of those yet? He did The Hobbit, didn't he?
What a gnarly harp solo.
No, the audiobook. Andy Serkis harp solo. Love it. Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's needed from an audiobook. Just Thorin whipping out his harp and just connecting it up to a Marshall amp and
Oh
just
god.
like absolutely shredding.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. That's a conversion that needs to happen.
Yeah, Thorin in full noise marine stance with his harp.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Are there any sort of models that you'd want to see go along with this supplement of yours?
No, in reality, I don't think we're going to get models for these supplements. I mean, we might get the odd model, maybe,
Yeah.
but I think
I think
as it
a
goes,
plastic. I think a plastic Azog would be pretty good for this, like with all the options.
I'd love to see a plastic Azog. That is one of my top kits that I'd love to see. And yeah, that's one that I'd like to see. Maybe, I mean, I'd love to see an absolute kitted out foreign model. But if you do foreign, you've got to do the whole gang, haven't you? You can't just do the one dwarf. And you're not gonna see a redone foreign's company.
No, no plastic.
I mean,
Maybe Erebor reclaimed when they're in all the armor. You might see a plastic one for that, but I think the Forge World.
now
Cause,
that
yeah,
would be awesome.
yeah,
Because the Finecast champions of Erebor are utterly shite.
yeah. I've heard your woes
So yeah,
many times with that kit.
that's my first selection. So on to your second.
Nice, nice. That's a good one. Returning to a classic one. I'd love to see Ruin of Arnor. I loved this supplement when I was growing up in the hobby. But yeah,
I missed this one, so
I think this one would be a
I'd
small
fallen
one.
out of the hobby by the time we got this.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, right. Yeah, no, I think it would be a smaller one. And it would just be in line with bringing back, the rest of the Arnor range. I could see them adding maybe a new unit to Arnor with maybe like a Forge World kit or something. Maybe like a Arnor Kingsguard or something. you know, in a similar vein as to what we had with Dale, where Dale have got the Knights of Dale and something along those sorts of lines, just like a more elite infantry unit. I don't think you'd give them cavalry. Yeah, so that one kit for good. Maybe something new for evil, like maybe a plastic Gulliver or something.
Plastic Gulliver. That is such an out of left field suggestion. The
Some,
most
like,
obscure
yeah,
character.
but one that's he's
yeah,
actually quite
plastic
favoured
kit.
by Angmar players, I think. But yeah, I think I could see him coming back. I mean, GW have done some really nice kind of what you would call proxy models for Gulliver recently. There was that one from the Flesh Eater Courts range refresh recently that would look really, really good as a Gulliver, I think.
Well, anything would because it's a made up character.
Made up character. Yeah, this one I'll show you on the site. Yeah, this. I reckon this would work as like a Gulliver. Take off the keys, take off some of the weird gubbins he's got.
Yeah, the pillar maybe needs to be less fantasy.
Yeah. But it's all plastic. You could shave all that off and sculpt something. I could see that, like, if they did something like that. I think they've got the know-how and the tools to be able to do something really, really good now. Yeah.
With the Ruin of Arnor, like the big one that would be returning would be like the Arnor range, which seems to be going for quite a bit at the moment. And
yeah, it's kind of like a supplement built around like a range return, essentially.
Yeah, but like because you've got an Arnor army, right?
I do indeed. Yeah, I've got 500 points.
So, as an Arnor player, if you got, as part of this release, a Resin, Malbeth, and Badwi, and also like a Resin, let's call it a free pack of Arnorian warriors with like the option of spear or sword. So just like a Resin free pack, like a bit like the Bjornins.
Yeah.
Would you be happy with that? Because you could build an army, it'd be a little bit monopose, but you could build an army, it'd be brand new Forge World sculpts, but they'd literally just bring out your character pack of Arvidwi and Malbeth and your free warrior poses.
And any banner, no banner and no captain.
Oh yeah. Go on, we'll go for a banner blister as well.
Banner blister.
Banner blister with a generic named unnamed captain.
I mean, given I've got 500 points of them already.
Would you take that?
I would. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd take that. I'm sure they'd knock it out the park with the look of the characters. Personally, I like the old look because this is probably my favourite supplement of all of those old style ones. So I just love the look of the older models. But yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah, because I think those free kits you've probably got of like a really good sort of, if someone looks in the book and says, no, I want to do an Arnor army, they've got the option of Rangers, then the free Forge World kits.
Yeah.
You could quite happily make a 500 point to 800 point army and then ally something in.
Yeah, ally in some
I think
Rivendell or something, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that'd be an easy way for them to kind of keep shelf space down and
and then
also give people something.
They could do that thing like what they've done with some of the named characters, where like for a 1 point upgrade, a warrior of Arnor can become a King's Guard and they get some extra special rule or something like. Not bodyguard because they don't need it because of the passing courage with Arvidwi, but something else.
Don't you spoiler one of my ideas for later on in the stream. But, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, I think that
ignore
would be
that. We'll cut that. We'll cut that. Oh no, we're live.
all 3 listeners are going to have heard that. Oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
So right, what have we got next? I can't actually remember what my next one is, but
Oh yeah, this is your one. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. So, what it says on the tin, but it's basically Shadow and Flame version 2, but giving us the fall of Moria, the expedition for Moria, and maybe some tasty treats in between.
Yeah, like a full history.
Yeah, and give you something like to expand on your goblins, expand on your dwarves, and yeah, give you some cool little scenarios to play.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I just link, well, not like four little like mini linked bunch of scenarios or something.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely setting or a place that a lot of people love
Yeah,
or
yeah.
find interesting. So I think it's something that a lot of people would be keen on.
Well, didn't Rob from the Middle Earth team go on Nerd of the Rings YouTube fairly recently, like maybe like last year or something, and say that Khazad-dûm Moria was something that he really liked the setting.
Yeah, and I think that's the same for a lot of people, right? Like the Return to Mario video game is something that I think everyone were really keen on. I don't know if
Mm.
it's any good. It might be absolute trash.
I
But
found it. I found it quite fun so far.
have you been playing it?
Yeah, I've played it a bit with my mate Johnny locally. Um, yeah, it's been fun so far.
Yeah, so I mean, even if you tried putting an element of Return to Mario after the Balrog's dead, sort of maybe make it into a little bit of an RPG element. I
Or
don't I
like
don't know
almost
if that could
mixing
work. I
like
don't know if
a Battle Company's campaign, but it's like one person against the
yeah,
more.
and
Yeah, okay.
but something that really explores this you really it's a supplement about a place, isn't it? It's not about a particular army list or anything like that. You're doing it for Moria, and Moria is the character, not the dwarves and not the lins.
Yeah, that'd be
So yeah,
awesome.
that's my second pick.
I love it. That's cool. Um, how would you build on the goblin list? Do you think? Like, what would we add to that?
Well, I mean, we've not even spoken about stuff like legendary legions or anything like that because I
Oh, that's
think it's
true.
not really what we're about, are we, when it comes to the hobby. But I think you could maybe build some legendary legions that, restrict, you can't have any Balrogs in it. Something that's really based around just hordes of goblins, or you could have something based around Butcher
Yeah.
or even the Dwellers.
I mean, if you're going like Battle of Azanul Bazaar, um, then you've got obviously Azog
That was
leading.
a risky pronunciation there.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I
risky.
have messed it up a couple of times before, and it's come out very dodgy. Um, but yeah, you could have like Azog leading goblins and orcs or something.
Yeah, really mix it up and have, you know, Kane there and have it maybe true to the book as opposed to true to the film.
Yeah.
You could go either way.
Yeah. You could do some. I mean, it's
So
a bit more out of left field, but like during the seventh and going back and taking back Moria in the Fourth Age.
yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I think like a real history and maybe just dart it around like a couple of scenarios from the fall of Moria, a couple of scenarios from the expedition, a couple of scenarios from Zanzibar. God, no chance of that one. And then maybe a couple from the retaking.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. Oh, I've got some new unit and kind of army list ideas actually for this that could be quite fun.
Go on.
Um, so adding maybe like dwarf miners,
Yeah, yeah.
so like dwarf workforce, they all got like pickaxes or something. I don't know, maybe something crazy like explosive charges.
Yeah, just plebs with pickaxes.
Pickaxes and sticks of dynamite.
Yeah, I like that.
And then I don't know, something crazy like nameless things. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like
and
just
really because
horrible,
they've
gribbly
never.
tentacle monsters that live deep below Moria.
Yeah, because they've never been scared of kind of doing their own thing, especially when it comes to Moria, kind of coming up with their own ideas. Like we were talking about the Wag Marauders
Oh yeah, and like stuff like the
doing
Dweller in the
something a bit.
Dark and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Dave said dwarf miners, children.
yeah. Different kind of minus.
Heart wants what the heart wants.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
But yeah, so I think going off the kind of off the track of the films and off the track of the books wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You could kind of do what they did in Shadow and Flame, where they just kind of said, "Fuck it, we'll do his own history of Moria."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's yeah. I'd be all for that.
Yeah, I think you could make it into a nice small one, small supplement.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Legendary Legion for Balin's expedition, maybe. Although I know you can kind of build that as a list already. But
No,
anyway,
that'd be cool.
yeah,
Something where like they all have zero fate.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
Right, what's next?
What's next
This
one?
should be your
Oh,
third.
this is
Or
my third one. This is my kind of weird one, I guess. Fourth Age stuff. I don't think you'd call it that. I think I think that's a boring as shit title. But basically, it's the wars of King Eomer and King Aragorn suppressing both the south and the east after the destruction of the One Ring. And yes, it's really, really loose, but they could just go crazy. They could add new characters and stuff in there, and a chance to have more legendary legions of Minas Tirith, Gondor and um, Rohan fighting alongside each other again.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think to make this one good, you have to just go straight praiser. Basically, you've got to just come up with some batshit ideas and yeah, be a bit creative. And I think that could really work. I think it'd be something that would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Obviously, still within the realms of possibility and stuff, but I think you could just there's some creative options there for them. I reckon.
Yeah, I think in terms of models as well, an LSR model in full gear would be
Oh yeah,
awesome
prime for
from
like a
Forge
Forge
World.
World kit. Yeah,
Yep. I mean, that's something I'm surprised they've never done before.
yeah, but then I've been surprised they haven't done Sauron yet. So two big models there that they could do some really good stuff with. Um,
It's, yeah, like what? So what sort of scenarios do you think you'd be able to do with it?
well, I think you'd almost have two campaigns. You'd almost have like a the War in Rune, maybe, and then you'd have in the war in the south as well. So retaking of Umbar, like suppressing the Haradrim hordes and stuff. Um, I think you could maybe chuck references to the Blue Wizards in there with the Eastern stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a
There's nothing saying they're not still
why
kicking
not?
around by the Fourth
Why
Age.
not? Yeah, I'd go completely, like I said, off the sort of there's no reference material, so they can do a little, take a bit of creative license and do what they want with it.
Yeah.
Don't think they're in any danger of being, um, you know, there isn't going to be a film coming out anytime soon that just completely conflicts with whatever they do. So I think this is another one where you can kind of add your own bit of creativity into it and do what you want, really.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just think there's not like a massive wealth of stuff there. And it's not going to be like the one people are looking for, but just as something weird that I hope we get at some point.
The thing is, people don't think they want something like this until they get it, and it's the same as and we always talk about Shadow and Flame, but Shadow and Flame is something that I can't like. It came out around the time of Return of the King, and I don't think anybody was sat there saying we need a fully fleshed out Moria campaign book. And
Yeah.
now it's I'd say like quite a fan favorite,
Yeah, and the
and
stuff they
I could
added in
see
there,
a
like
4th page one
shamans and
being very
stuff.
similar.
Yeah, like I didn't see shamans coming to the game either. That was just straight out of GW's headcanon.
Yeah, and I think you could add like, if you've got some remnant orc warlords, you could add some cool named characters in there that give them something to go against. Again, the the characters they brought out with was it the Defense of the North, War in the North? Was it
Mm.
Razgush and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
other dude? Was it Murger or something? But
Musgo,
those two were
was
great.
one. Yeah, yeah, they were
Mosgo.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Really cool models, and you can come up with some good little backstory for them because you completely you've got complete creative license to just do whatever you want.
Mm.
And yeah, I think people would really like that. It'd be something a bit different.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first. Your favourite supplement you never heard of.
Oh, that's coming up next. I've decided.
Oh, welcome Ali to the chat. Great to hear you guys going at it live, so to speak. Good to have you here, man.
Yeah.
All right. Was
Hey,
this your
onto
last one?
This is my last choice. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, take it away. What's your plans for this one?
It's a Tom Bombadil supplement.
Is it just the Tales of Tom Bombadil, but in battle games form?
No, that'd be fucking insane, and wouldn't sell a single copy. No, it's basically a bit of a hodgepodge. If we're only going to get one supplement this year, I'd like it to be something that kind of stretches and covers a lot of different factions.
Mm.
So you could have some unique little micro scenarios, one for Tom Bombadil versus Old Man Willow, or one for Murrin and Dra, maybe. Just little strange, fun scenarios that nobody ever thought about. And,
Okay.
then you can mix that in with maybe some unique, interesting scenarios where you add like a little bit of flavor to the units. So one thing I really like in the Heresy at the moment is the exemplary battles PDFs that they're
Oh
releasing.
yeah, yeah. So one battle, and then there's like a new unit introduced just for that battle or something, or there's yeah. I think I get your meaning. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not new models, it's not new kits, it's literally just the opportunity to convert and be creative.
Mm.
For example, like you could say, I've spoken to you before about like Kingsguard for Iron Hills, where it's similar to Hearthguard, where you pay 3 points and get Burley,
Yeah.
and it gives you the opportunity to model something up, get the green stuff out, do something a bit different. And if you tried doing that for every faction and kind of made a exemplary battle for, let's say you did, I don't know, hobbits versus warrior goblins as some obscure little clash on the borders of the Shire, and gave the option to do like Hobbit hunters and
Oh boy.
Moria goblin raiders or something like that.
Yeah.
That adds like a bit of adds a bit of flavor, but what it does is it gives you the option to buy a kit that maybe you had no intention of buying, like let's say Hobbit sheriffs that you've seen them loads of times, but now you think, oh, I could buy those and add green stuff capes to them, or I could buy those and do a weapon swap on them, or I could buy them and paint them in a completely different color scheme
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Something that
use
like
them as
completely leans
Hobbit
into like the hobby.
hunters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
and you know, give every faction something like that and really like allow the community to just be a bit creative and do something a bit interesting. And it requires no new models, it requires nothing but creativity. I'm liking Ali's uh, suggestion of a scenario where Bombadil heads to the Prancing Pony and Green Dragon in a pub crawl.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Like a proper linked campaign as well, but like the most in-depth linked campaign they've ever done.
Yeah, of how arseholed Tom Bombadil gets.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible.
That is the sort of thing I'd like, and just make it into something that's a complete hodgepodge of just range stuff, and lean into the whole unfinished tales, and lean into the whole you know strangeness and creativity of the community, and do something a bit different for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't necessarily really kind of break the mold, and don't do, because 40k has campaign books, Heresy has campaign books. Every single game system they do has these campaign books. We'll maybe do something a bit different and create a um, book of micro games,
Yeah,
effectively.
essentially.
That
Yeah, I mean, it
you,
kind of reminds me of some of the scenarios that we used to see in some of the old supplements. Like, if you look back at the old Shadow in the East one, where initially we got Murin and Dra introduced, we had like a named Candish, her king, who was like, um, who fought alongside Murin, Dra, and Kirion at the time against some orcs or something, and just like little one-off scenarios in like some obscure corner of Middle Earth.
yeah, and just go again, as we said with the fourth age, go completely off the board with it and do some interesting takes with it. So,
Yeah,
you know,
bring back the. I know we've spoken about it on our Moria episode. Spoilers, um, but the Ice Balrog, you could bring that Queen Beruthiel model out and have like a scenario where Queen Beruthiel's trying to gather intelligence on someone or something, or trying to escape and flee back to Umbar after she's been found out for being naughty or something. I don't know. It's just an opportunity to bring
or
back some.
or she's just hunting down her cats.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
just something interesting like that. Yeah,
yeah, just lean into the sort of. I mean, Tom Bombadil's a great example of just it's jarring almost in how mental the character is and how insane it is. But I think quite a lot of people do enjoy that. They like how
yeah.
how
I'm still
weird and
waiting for that
strange it is.
one tournament that allows Tom Bombadil. I'm going to say it. I
Yeah.
don't think he's that broken. I'm going to say it. I don't think he's that broken. It requires a different style of play, but I'm all for Bombadil.
Who's bringing him? I mean, that's the question. Who's bringing him?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think the problem is he's like Yellow Alliance with every single list. And I don't think he should be
Nah, just red with everybody
red with
except
everything.
Frodo.
Yeah, yeah,
And you have to sing his song if you use him.
yeah. It's the only way that you're allowed to use the abilities is if you sing. Not
Yeah.
even allowed to
So
roll
you end
dice
up
for him.
like
Yeah,
going to an event and getting put on a register.
yeah. Amazing.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I want to see.
No, I like it.
That's my wish list.
That's a good one. That's like a nice little kind of like love letter from GW to the community. That last one. That's nice. I like it.
Yeah, and as a writer, I imagine, I've spoken to one or two of the writers, and I can imagine this would be fun for them. Just do something different. You don't have to worry too much about researching in the books and poring over it. You can come up with literally a sentence from the appendices and just say, right, I'm gonna make that into a scenario, and it's gonna be weird and it's gonna be different, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. A little compilation of unfinished scenarios. I mean, finished, unfinished tales scenarios, whatever.
Yep. And that brings us to the end, Doug. That's
the
it.
end, is it? Oh, oh. Next slide alludes to our next thing we're recording.
Yeah. So we need send us your dudes. Send dudes. Do you like that? I thought that was quite funny.
I like that. That's good. That's good. It's made me laugh. Very funnies.
Tried finding, how we've got the Lord Kitchener photo.
Oh, yeah.
I was convinced there would be like a version of that photo with Gandalf, but there wasn't.
Oh,
So I've
okay.
just had to use. Yeah, it's a shame. Truly heartbreaking.
We may have to make I could make a Thorin one. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But as you can see, we need photos of your foreigns company for our next episode of the Herald of Woe podcast, so that we can mercilessly ridicule your painting and mock your efforts at basing, and just generally be really toxic and hateful towards what you've poured many hobby hours into.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck your spare time.
Oh, sums it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a
So
fun one.
please email us. Email us to heraldofwoe.sbg@gmail.com, or just message them on Instagram to me or Doug or the Herald of Woe Instagram page, and we'll try and sort it out via that. But yeah, send us your pictures of Foreign's company, and you'll end up on the next episode. You will end up on the next episode.
Yeah, yeah.
And as I said, we will mercilessly critique them.
That's anything from the Thorin's company list. So if you send pictures of Erebor Reclaimed, you will be getting blocked. Yeah. Gandalf the Grey, we've already done him in a previous episode, so please just the dwarves, but obviously we'd like to see Gandalfs as well. It's nice to see more Gandalfs.
Yeah, no champions of Erebor though. We'll name and shame you, hurl abuse at you, probably send you ludicrous amounts of hate mail. Yeah, just usual stuff, right?
Yeah.
Usual podcast stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity. I hope that's been nice and toxic and positive for this evening, And again, leave comments, hit the like button. I'm gonna stop people hitting the like button, innit?
Yeah, tell us why
One presses it if you ask them to press it.
Tell us why your supplement ideas are better than ours.
Yeah, or tell us why our supplement ideas are terrible and that no one would ever buy them. And yeah, just give us a bit of communication, help us out on the algorithm.
Yeah,
yeah.
We've already got one person who'd buy the Tom Bombadil supplement, so there's got to be more out there.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are commenting from like a mental asylum, but
because they've been singing at tournaments, and they got
yeah. Yeah, you got to be a nut job to get behind a Tom Bombadil supplement, but
Yeah.
I think that I could make it work, and that's probably part of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you
probably
just
one of the
got
signs of insanity.
turn up to a tournament and it's just like just singing Tom Bombadil, just toxic positivity, the complete opposite to that guy who dressed up as a Nazi at that Warhammer 40k tournament.
Yeah,
Yep. And that's a good note
you
to
are
end
just
on.
hell bent on getting them. You just fucking demonetized us, Doug. Jesus Christ.
That's fine. We're going to sell Tom Bombadil supplements. That's how we'll make the money back.
Yeah, we definitely got into this for the money, given
Oh,
that
100%.
we've
Yeah.
got five fucking watchers.
Yeah.
I think it's time to call it quits, Doug. That's been just over an hour, and I think we've done well on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for all of you who have joined. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks, and go fuck yourself.
All right. Thanks and go fuck yourself, guys.
Bye.
Done.